little espada y daga for my Filipino friends. Good morning, everybody. So, hey, yesterday I'm at work, and one of my co-workers asked me, there's only so much cartel stuff you can talk about, and who would you interview? Some thought-provoking questions to me. And so I started thinking about it, about who I would interview. Is that recording? It sure is, okay. About who I would interview. So I started thinking about, because there really is only so much cartel stuff you can do. Like Ed, my Canadian hater, I think he's Canadian, he persists on my channel. I'm not going to be all over the map. I'm going to keep it in a line, ducks in a row. But my Canadian hater, he continues with, you said you were this member of a Mexican military. A lot of stuff I could address in that. I'm starting to learn that people are going to say what they're going to say online. And I started thinking about people that I should interview. And one of the things I wanted to address are things that I think Ed Calderon does well. Not because my haters down there in my comments, because actually, to tell you the truth, oh man, there's just so much stuff that I could get into as far as things that this guy's already said. He's probably already got like 100 comments under my videos. One of the things that he says is, I'm doing this for money. You can go on YouTube right now and you can check, and I got something like, I don't know, I want to say 12,000 views this month. Someone that got 1,000 views made like 166 pounds. Comes out to like $220. And when you factor in the 30% that the taxes are going to be taken off on top of that, you're talking like 160 bucks for all the work that I put into doing this. And even though my videos aren't polished like other people's are, I've already got like a couple $100 out in software as far as just editing. Then there's sound editing, which the quality, the image quality on my Canon camera, I've got camera, I didn't even think about that. My camera cost, all the money I've sent. When you're looking at this product, I already know that money's come out of my pocket just to put this online. And I sat on my story for several years. Not several, but a few. And so when this guy's saying that I'm hungry for views, like 20 people watched the video I put out yesterday. Some other guy's making 160 bucks at the end of the day for 1,000 views. Or maybe it was 10,000. I'm not making any money off this channel. Sometimes I use music, sometimes I don't. I've been leaning towards not using music, because if I do, it'll get a copyright strike. And if it's something that does blow up, I don't want to have to pull down my words, my work, and what I've done. So there's that. So anybody that thinks I'm doing this channel for money or to get rich or fame, you're crazy. If I did get any recognition for what I've done in Mexico, which is noteworthy in and of itself, these aren't my words, these are other people telling me I should write a book or try to do like a movie script or something like that. I don't think my life is that amazing. Real shit about Dave, real shit. I'm getting towards the tail end of my life. My primary concerns are making sure that I do a good job by my wife, by the people that count on me. And that's basically all I care about. And as long as I'm paying the bills and taking care of them, and we've lived in modest means. I mean, I got a Gibson guitar that's worth like $1,000. Gresh right next to it, it's like 600 bucks. It's a Christmas present from my dad. Got a Fender. I've got a couple nice things, but am I wealthy? No, definitely not. So anyone that thinks that I'm doing my channel to like generate some type of life-changing wealth, you're way out of bounds. Still going to school, still work 2 jobs, constantly hustling and grinding to make sure that I do right by my wife because she deserves it, and by myself because I deserve it too. Work out, to try to not have to wind up in the hospital. There's certain genetic things that we inherit in my family that are detrimental to your health. So you got to stay on top of making sure you're in shape, not becoming obese, lethargic, a fat POS. Not that there's anything wrong with people that legitimately have weight issues. However, when you're just being lazy, overeating, and not being disciplined, that's an issue. So I'm not going to even edit that out because it is what it is. So I'm not doing my channel to generate a bunch of money. I could just do a talk show. Be like, hey, Dave, what's your perspective on this? Canadian hater guy. That's your new name, Canadian hater guy. Canadian hater guy wants to say that I've said things I didn't say. If you want, post a video of something, of me saying it directly, screenshotting it, to where we can go back to the video and track it, or STFU, you know, just shut it. I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth bantering. Some people's reading comprehension isn't very good. It's just the way it is, including my own sometimes. Sometimes I'll read something, I got to go back and check it out again because I misread something. And this definitely happens online. This guy seems to think that I said something I didn't say. Nowhere have I ever, in any one of my videos, claimed to have worked for the Mexican military. Hasn't happened. Things that I think Ed does right. Look at the screen quality on this. That's pretty dope. Lots of sparkles in his microphone. I'm going to shut this off. Things that I think Ed does right. I think that Ed has his Elvia Productions company, or whatever it is, paid their office manager just an absurd sum. Their office manager was out of San Francisco, something like that. Dude's famous. He's a rock star, man. I'm not hating. I'm not hating on Ed Calderon. I'm just saying that I would love to be in the same place as Ed and just have a free-for-all with questions and be like, hey, what's up? And if he doesn't want to, I kind of get it, because he's turned his experience, whatever it is, whether it's in Mexico or in the United States, into a company that just crushes anything. I bet he makes way more money than I do. He's sober. I applaud that. I love that he has leveraged what, I don't know, dubious things that I've been suspicious of, things that other people have been suspicious of, numerous people. What's going on in the comments this morning about whether or not he was a security guard in San Diego? And some guy that had a security company in San Diego that had veterinary issues. Because if you go down all these Reddit substacks and jump from one forum to another by people that are actually posting stuff, and I've got screenshots of it, that there are people that claim to have worked with Ed in San Diego and said he was a security guard. I guess I could talk about that this morning. Suppose Ed was a security guard. He's got a successful knife company. He trains the American government, is on TV with Dan Crenshaw, is on TV with an ex-agent from Bortac, is on TV with Prager and everybody else. If he's a security guard from San Diego, which he might be, hey man, props to you, dude. The only thing that I kind of take issue with is how Americans would even have any type of clue what's going on in the United States, except for people like this. Not this guy. This guy is a Green Beret, I guess. But you just have to kind of take them at their word. This morning I'm watching something that ABC News or somebody put out, and the reporter's name was Gutierrez. She's Latina. You can tell the budget behind it's a lot bigger, and she's actually in a truck. This was just on YouTube just this morning. She's in a truck with Mexican agents and the Mexican military, police and military, and they're filming it. And they're going out throughout Mexico. That, Katarina Szulc, That Ed Calderon is exactly what I'm talking about. And I know my videos are kind of like my videos at work in Mexico where I'm just filming stuff randomly on my camera. That's what I'm talking about Ed not having. Ed does do a great job of production. You see the samurai thing? He's got these old kung fu movies in the back. I bought a film projector. They say that when you mimic somebody, it's the best form of flattery. Hey, Ed, I'm mimicking some of what you do. Not the light setup. The light setup, I have my beer lights and stuff. I have to have a little bit more light on than I want because the camera that I have isn't capable of picking me up. So you've got better gear than I've got. I guarantee you that. As far as the interface, I don't have it over here. It's over there. As far as my interfaces and whatnot, I've got a Behringer, I've got some other stuff, some audio tech for creating a digital interface with the camera and the microphone system. I need some work on that, but I basically like the product that Ed puts out. I just disagree with some of the stuff that they're saying, and that goes for Katarina Szulc too. Katarina Szulc, the ABC thing, I should pause this video and I should put it up there. I'm going to pause this. Okay, I got it. It's right here. It's ABC News in depth. It's right here.
He's been on the force for over a decade.
So she's in his car. Katarina Szulc, this is how you do news in Mexico. So you go with the people that directly work with it, right? She's in a patrol unit. There you go. That's a truck. It's a police truck. There's a Mexican flag, Mexican weapons out in public. And Ed, this is why I'm crazy, curious why you don't have any pictures of you doing that when I've got like a gazillion. And you said you did this. You were with Asuna for 3 years wearing a suit. You don't want to wear suits, but that means you got 7 years out on patrol. You said you did this 10 years. You don't have any videos doing this. Katarina Szulc doesn't have any videos of this. She lives in Mexico, doesn't have anything like this. So
the military has just pulled out a fixer, and the police official we were speaking to.
And this is something.
We're taking photos of her vehicle as well. I guess it's the sensitivity of the topic and the time currently of what the U.S. and Mexico relationship is going through.
So, that's what I'm talking about. When I'm being critical of videos, guys, I'm not trying to badger Ed or Katarina Szulc. Katarina Szulc, some positive things about Katarina Szulc. Obviously, she's attractive. A lot of people think that. Great eyes. Probably pretty smart. She was on that thing for going to a debate in South Africa or whatever. Props and respect. I want to say that. Ed Calderon, props and respect. You got a company that makes what I'm assuming to be a substantial amount of money and what I have dug up on you here in the States. But when we're talking about reporting for cartels with Vincent Vargas and all this other stuff, this is reporting, and obviously it's ABC News in depth. It was posted yesterday, 1 day ago. It's got 167,000 views. And Dave, you're a gringo. Why do you care so much? I got to stay on topic. This is going down there, talking and working with exactly first person, the people that face the bullets and everything else every day and have direct consequences. There's been 2 gunfights right at my house in Mexico. One lasted 2 hours and 45 minutes, and the other one was actually, technically it was around the corner, probably 60 feet away from my house. But these are things that people in Mexico live with, and I've talked about it before. There are direct consequences, real life consequences, when enough people, it's called social engineering, when enough people start thinking a certain way and then they start acting and supporting certain policies, politics. Gaza is a great example of that. Whether you're pro-Israel or pro-Palestine or neither, there are major consequences when a critical mass of people start thinking a certain way. Large groups of people are dangerous when they start thinking something. And what they think, whatever they think, I'm fine with it as long as it's an informed opinion. And this lady is right here, directly in front of Mexican Ejército Mexicano, which is Mexican Army. They've been around Guardia Nacional, which is now the reformed Federal Preventative Police. There's municipal police I'm seeing in here. I haven't seen state police yet, I don't think. But I haven't watched the whole thing. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. She speaks Spanish fluently. Se habla español perfectamente bien a nivel de colegio o universidad. She speaks Spanish at a college or university level. And it's not some nail salon attendant verifying her stories or some dog grooming guy writing an article up on Ed. So Katarina Szulc, Vincent Vargas, your program, your service, as far as being a Green Beret, I respect that. I respect it, even though I don't like the freedom in the country going away. I do respect people that are committed enough to actually put themselves in harm's way for the ideas that they hold dear. So I'm not being critical incorrectly. I'm being critical of the way that people are presenting something that I know a lot about and live firsthand daily for a long time, and will continue to live in the future, being that I have a home in Mexico that we own. It's our home. My wife and I have a home. She's right up there on my saw. Right here. Well, yeah, you know what? I'll do it. What the hell? Let's just see if we can focus in on that. I'll turn this over. She is right up there. That is my wife, and that's as close as of a look as you're going to get at. Hands off, fellas. She's mine. I'll take it, and I love her. I'm crazy about her. So, there are real life consequences to what people say and do on YouTube. Some Canadian guy getting hot, stiff under the collar or whatever, hot under the collar because he thinks I'm thirsty for views. That was me in a uniform, not the Ejército uniform. I had my own uniform with my own Mexican flag on it. And this guy's going to sit here and act like I don't have a right to talk about it. Whether I'm thirsty for views or not, I can make 150,000 of these videos and I'll have earned every right to do it, just as anyone else has worked a day in that, including Ed. I have nothing to say about Ed making videos. My only thing is I would love to have question and answer with Ed. So, my podcast, my YouTube channel, what do I want to do with it? I want to tell Vincent Vargas, Shawn Ryan, Joe Rogan, Katarina Szulc, Ed Calderon, Tommy G, Julian Doring. I have nothing but happiness for you and your success. I begrudge anyone's success. I was thinking about this yesterday, about haters. When you go to school, if you're too smart and you're a nerd, people hate you. They shove you off in a group. If you're too stupid and you're in the back of the class, the people hate you. They shove you off in a group. If you grew up in a horrible family, right? Your stepdad's beating you, your mom's a drunk or whatever, and you go to school and you become a thug, people hate you. The jocks, people hate you. Just the teachers, people hate you. The police, people hate you. People are going to hate you no matter who you are. They're going to hate. They're miserable in their own lives. They're not happy. And this is unfortunate because I live a pretty happy life, man. I'm blessed. I really am. I've got a high quality life. I've got a few toys. I've got a woman that I adore. And I want everyone to have this. But when you're online, a lot of people are miserable and like to stay stagnant. don't want to learn anything, don't want to get out and do anything. They talk a lot, but they won't do anything. You know, you got to practice, you got to learn, you got to compete. You have to constantly find a way to improve yourself, or you're going to be unhappy. So when I see these people out there doing things, big things, Tommy G, some kid from Minneapolis, multi-millionaire probably by now, respect, man. Katarina Szulc, internationally known, for better or worse, respect. Ed Calderon, big company, sober, respect. I loved seeing that stuff, man. Julian Dory, I don't know how you go from being a Wall Street broker to going back to your mom's house, but now you're internationally known too. And then there's other people too, because I dig into all these people's past. The other guy, I forget his name right now, his name escapes me. It's not Johnny Mitchell. It's another one that does, they all know each other. But he's had people that have studied at Columbia University and other stuff on his podcast. They've got great sets. Shawn Ryan. Shawn, you're kind of like my hero, man. You did everything I wanted to do, including the cocaine in Colombia, man. I'm way on board with that. Hey, Dave, how come you haven't joined an outlaw motorcycle club? I love freedom. I love freedom. I love freedom. You know, I love seeing people happy and free and doing what they want. And so, you know, joining a club, there's a lot of rules that go along with that, and I'm not really with it. You know, this video, I try not to script my videos because they come out as inauthentic. And I mean, you can have AI spit you out a video script in less than 3 seconds. You just talk into your microphone, bam, it's right there. 10-minute video script. But you can tell when people are reading a prompter, when they're reading off a list. The 10th Amendment Center, I watch that guy all the time. And you can see, he's got the camera up close, but you can see where his eyes, the direction of his glance, he's reading off of a list, and he's got a great channel, don't get me wrong. But I don't want my channel to be like that, and I don't want my channel to be like something that's contrived and has been carefully combed through. You know, when you're walking along the beach every once in a while you find something cool. That's what my channel might be like, you know. Maybe sometimes I do ramble on a little bit. If you don't like it, don't watch it, and that's okay. And it's not going to be any skin off my back because I'm going to work anyways, man. You're not paying my bills, watching my YouTube videos. But when I'm talking about reporting, I'm going to turn this down, just let it play in the background a little bit.
Our fixers.
When I'm talking about reporting, and here we go. So,
I guess that shows you just how
Ed,
desperate people are.
Katarina,
just to get across and to bring drugs across the border.
She's sitting here.
Es sorprendente, increíble, también yo como autoridad, difícil de creerlo. Es como si fuera alguna...
She's out in public on a patrol vehicle in Mexico, dude. I posted a video exactly like this.
The landscape is quite different, but the one thing...
So, that's authenticity, and you know, this is the first time I've seen this lady, but this isn't being faked by AI. It's not being lied about. It's not some third-hand information. It's her going directly to the trucks that we're on. And you can see how there's people in the trucks. Ed, where are your pictures of all of that, dude? Where are they? 10 years in the game, and you've got a picture of you standing in front of a sedan vehicle with, I think it's an HKG36, HKG36. And your buddies, you're in a tweed suit or whatever. But you got 10 years and you don't have any pictures of you in a truck like that? I'm sorry, man, but you know, brother to brother, because I know you wore a uniform down there for at least a limited period of time. Where are your pictures at? Nothing that we're doing is that top secret. National security, can't talk about it. Travis Haley, you and your ITAR agreement. Come on, dude. You got a foreign reporter in the back of a Mexican truck and you're talking about its national security, whether or not you admit publicly to having trained Ed like Ed states on the Mexico Armado Forum? That's scandalous, man. You guys talk like you're like the tip of the spear and you can't answer a simple question. You know, if I ever see you in person, I will totally ask you this to your face on camera if you let. And if you want to try to lay me out and knock me out or whatever, be my guest. But the truth is the truth. You either trained the dude or you didn't. You can't admit to it because it's national security or whatever. You got to put your ITAR stuff on, but you can train a foreign national. Ha! That's laughable, dude. I can't even screenshot Travis Haley's email because he put an ITAR agreement on it, an ITAR warning on it. So, you know, I feel a certain way about this stuff, and I should. Shawn Ryan and his producer having Katarina Szulc on. Shawn, I love your show. I love that you write down Bible verses on the supporting lumber of the building, and then you cover it up, and so it's inside and it's an integral part of the building that you're in your studio. Man, I love that. Salute to you. Just briefly to interject here, I did talk to Camp Gagnon. The editor that's doing my videos, there's like 6 hours. And so I guess they're editing it down to an hour. And I'm not going to put their crew on blast exactly who said that. But it is coming along. It's in the works. And there might be a point in time when I'm on your show, Shawn. What I'm talking about, though, Shawn, I would love to have you see. This isn't even for me. I would love to have you have this lady on your show, because this lady is actually down there with the people that are directly involved. And in the future, you know, I've thought about what I might do with my show. Because one thing that I have that's beyond question is I've got a set of testicles that I truck around in a wheelbarrow, and it's not because I'm bravado or whatever. I was grown up in a really abusive relationship with a stepdad. He used to hold me down on my back, and he was about a 200-pound man. When you're a teenage boy, you're not going to fight that. So I would cover up like this while he's sitting there hitting me. He's trying to get a shot in. I'd cover up like this. Bam, 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 bam. Right? His name was Dar. And he's sitting there drilling on my head. But I got to cover it up so my arms are eating all the shot. I'm not feeling nothing. He's a big guy. He's tired. You reach up, you twist his nose because, hey, toma. And then he gets mad and he does it again. But then he gets all tired. He gasses. Right? A lot of people gas, man. You got to work on your cardio, baby, or you're not going anywhere. 30 seconds and done. So anyways, I reach up and I hit him in the nose again. And that was kind of my upbringing. So I wound up being willing to, I got kicked out at 16. My first house was a 1974 Firebird that I bought for $500 worth of product. We'll leave what product it was out of it. It's not important. But I was eating mustard sandwiches out of the trunk of my 74 Firebird when I was 16 years old. Parked behind Challenge Graphics in the San Fernando Valley in Reseda. I gotta pause this. No, you know what? I'm not gonna. I'll deal with that later. So, I grew up this life, and when I had the opportunity to go to Mexico, I wasn't like that worried about the consequences. And my wife and I were talking about consequences. You have people that are not even aware or cognizant of what the consequences would be. I was aware of what the consequences were, and I just didn't give a damn. And that's the difference between me and a lot of other people. And there might be consequences someday about having this this podcast. Consequences to myself and consequences to my wife, and we've thought about this. And my wife, credit to her, is braver than I will ever be, dude. Because she's down there working exactly like this lady is. There's a video of my wife in a helicopter where she's doing a news story, and people that are smart can figure out who it is. But my wife and I both made a decision that we're going to do what we want with life, man. And my wife, oh man, she's an icon to me. I can't say enough good things about my wife. My wife is literally this lady in the back of a truck working for a national news agency in Mexico. And it's another reason why I take this so personally. Not personally like I'm going to get butthurt about it, but personally like I'm definitely going to say something. So when you're watching these YouTube videos, right, and you have these people that are supposed experts, they are making a good chunk of cash. I'm grateful for them. Someday I might be on Shawn's show and I might be making a chunk of cash too and having sponsors. I don't know. My motive, my goal at the end of the day is take care of my wife in a manner that has integrity, in a manner that's honest and open, and that's what I'm all about. So that way I don't have to hide anything, I don't have to make anything up, and I can have this lady on here right now and she can say whatever she's going to say, and it's not going to uncover something that I've stated, because my castle's made of sand will fall into the sea eventually. Jimi Hendrix. So hey man, all my haters, Canadian hater guy, thank you. Talk good about me, talk bad about me, just talk about me. Buddy of mine, Joe Gomez, says that. Talk good about me, talk bad about me, just talk about me. You can say what you want, whatever you want down in the comment section. I'm not going to respond to a whole bunch more of it because you're kind of on a loop. Ed, I can say good things about Ed. I can say good things about everyone that I've just talked about. No issue with it. But when I'm talking about authenticity and reporting, this is it. That's it right there. Let's just let's look at a little bit more of it.
Consistent.
Because it's refreshing to see this. So hey, here's another picture of me on patrol. I've got
Este tipo de situación, las autoridades.
right there. That's me all day long. Okay, so here, what's this?
Fácil, ¿no? O sea, de caminar.
So, she's apparently with a cartel guy. This is surprising to me because, actually, you know what? I should keep this going. This is a little surprising to me because when you're dealing with the cartel, you're dealing with people that will 100% kill you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't know how many headless people I've seen with their heads in coolers. There are serious consequences for crossing a cartel. There are serious consequences for interacting with a cartel. There are serious consequences for putting on a uniform or not putting on a uniform. In Mexico, there are consequences. So the fact that she's with this person, she's already established a certain level of credibility because she's established credibility, Kat, Ed. She's established credibility because she's cruising around with the same people that are portando armas, publicly using or carrying weapons in public for the Mexican government. So she has a certain level of credibility right off the bat. From a Mexican perspective, in Mexico, open daylight. So now she's with this guy. Is he really cartel? Hard to prove. Could be someone that just says he's cartel and she doesn't know. Because unless you're directly involved with that life, it's very difficult to determine whether the person you're talking to is telling you the truth. Maybe they move keys, maybe they don't. Maybe they sold 5 grams last week and now in their mind, they're Scarface. I mean, and when you're talking about stuff like the cartel, they are not going to incriminate themselves on a level to where they're going to lose any money or product unless they're making more money on it and moving more products somewhere else. That is the only time you will see them set something up and have something get caught. So she's talking to this dude, and
Business. But he brings us this.
let's-
25 fentanyl pills worth about $200 US. Where did you get this?
Where? I can't say.
You can't tell me.
So even this dude, he's only got 25 fentanyl pills, so he's like a low level. In Mexico, if you're dealing drugs and you're not doing it for the people that are in charge, the plaza boss is in charge of determining who gets to sell drugs and whatnot, and the group or the cartel that runs the area is going to determine who the plaza boss is. The fact that he's selling drugs, he's either doing it with direct permission and authorization from the cartel that runs the area, or he's signing his own death warrant. But even this right here, I didn't even know. I haven't even seen the video this far. This is the first time I'm seeing it. It's only 25 fentanyl pills. So is he some upper echelon cartel guy that's calling shots? No. In fact, he's a little bit more than what you would call an halcon, which is like a lookout. So that's this guy. And where's he at? That's right there, and that's in downtown El
Police
Defe.
are unforgiving when they catch anyone involved.
So what happens if you get pulled over and they see that you're carrying 25 pills?
I'm going to jail. It's no good.
I think he's getting
No
uncomfortable.
good. No puedes estar filmando aquí afuera, güey.
I think he's getting uncomfortable.
Sí.
So we should.
Si no, aquí le cortamos. No puedes
He
grabar.
doesn't want to be in it.
So they're saying that he can't film, they don't want to film.
He's done.
But even right here, so, man, even right there in the background, you can start picking out little clues of where they're at. But this is kind of what I'm talking about. So she's in El Defe. Oh, that's right by Congress. So I'm just going to fast forward through the rest of this. Now she's talking to people who have had their families kidnapped or overdosed. I don't know. But anyways, so that's going to be today's video basically. That's authentic reporting, where you're out talking to the people that are actually involved and can prove it. The cartel thing, someone with 25 fentanyl pills, that's a little dicey. But when you're out in a patrol truck, sometimes that could be show and tell too, but you're at least definitely with the people that are in charge of doing it. And she had a thing on there with Shine Bomb. I doubt she got access to Shine Bomb. But that's today's video, man. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, things that I like about Kat and Ed and Vince and Shawn and all the usual people, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan staying on top of it with his jiu-jitsu. I'm a judo fan, I gotta say, but whatever. Same lineage. Well, slightly different lineage. Jigoro Kano's student went to Brazil and didn't want to teach the Brazilians judo, which came from Jigoro Kano, obviously, so they called it jiu-jitsu, which was the parent martial art of judo, Japanese jiu-jitsu. I could get off on a tangent. Hey, I'm glad that you guys decided to spend an hour with me. Thanks for dropping in. If you like my videos, like and subscribe. And if you don't, have a wonderful day either way. I got stuff I got to do.